We're back, and I got the memo to wear red. I didn't know that everyone was going to have it on. Don Calloway is here, and he's got red in his hat. And joining us, my iconic sister. First, I want to start with you because I haven't talked with you in a while, and you've been out in them streets producing and directing and doing all of the things. Let me welcome those of you who are, in the soap opera realm. You know her, but we know her. Victoria Rowell is here. Hello.
Hey. Ho, 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 jolly, jolly, jolly.
Yes, ho, ho, and all the other hoes. Yes. And
Karen.
Yes. And this woman I've never met, but it's like her because we all know her, right? We've seen her on A Different World, hanging with Mr. Cooper, and she can sing too. Those people don't know she got the voice. Yeah, and the face, apparently she's a vampire because she looked the damn same as she looked 20 years ago. I don't know what you're doing, Dawnn Lewis, but Dawnn Lewis, 2 N's, is here. Hello.
Thank you. Oh, it is so great to be here. It's a pleasure to meet you. And no, I'm not a vampire, at least not since I shaved my fangs. I'm not.
Okay. Well, so what do you do? Wait, hold on. I need to know what the hell, because I when the camera popped up, I was like, now I know when she was on, she looked the same as from The Different World, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Grace of God, lots of water.
I drink water and love God. What's the third thing? Maybe that's where my problem is. What's the third thing?
A good heart. I don't know.
Oh, all right. I got to work on that one. Okay.
There you go.
I think on Instagram they say hydrated and minding her own business. This is the look of a woman who's unbothered, who'll be minding her own business.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess I got to work on it.
Huh?
What you say?
Amazing as well.
Yeah, no, Victoria always looks amazing.
Oh,
so,
thank you. Oh, okay. You punted it back to me. Thank you. Just take it right on up. Okay.
Yeah, come on through face. I mean, you've always had the face though. Listen. All right. So you made the ultimate pivot, and we were talking a little bit off mic because Victoria Rowell is producing and directing. It's called Blackjack Christmas. Blackjack Christmas is on BET Plus. So when you watch Jill Scott and them, you just go to the next thing, right? Because Jill Scott's on there with First Wives. You just go there too, because I'm watching that. Blackjack Christmas on BET Plus, available today.
Yes.
The pivot from in front of the camera where you were giving them all the hell. And what was the transition for you, Victoria?
Watching my friends, and not only in Hollywood, but also in New York City, my friends from my first career who are choreographers, who are dancers, and watching them wanting to grow in theater. And so I was just inspired watching my friends. Like, I can list a number of them who made the transition from acting to directing to writing to producing. And I said, let me do this. And I started in the 90s in the documentary world. But it is the platforms, especially our Black platforms, that gave me more of an opportunity to create content that could be licensed, and I could really get into business, because this is about the business of Black female filmmaking. So I was inspired because I saw it happening and I knew it was possible.
Right.
So
Blackjack Christmas isn't my first time working with Victoria as an actor director. Yes, we do Rich and the Ruthless, which is also on BET. So after you watch Blackjack Christmas, go watch Rich and the Ruthless, and then come back to Blackjack Christmas, because it was a scene you were talking through and you were eating and you shouldn't have been eating. You should have been paying attention.
Right.
So there you go. You have options.
That's correct. Thank you,
okay. So who called who? So Victoria, you guys have worked together before. So Dawnn, did Victoria call and say, I have this script, you're perfect for it. It's the story of 2 sisters. One migrated to the United States, the other stayed in Jamaica, and then addiction. We were just talking about families torn apart. It's like drama. And then somehow you shove Christmas in there. Like, okay, what inspired you to it's like, okay, I'm going to take this role. This is perfect.
It happened just that way.
Yep.
She called me. I think it was like 6:30, 6:45 in the morning when I wasn't awake enough to say no. I was like, yeah, Vicky, whatever you need, sis. I got you. Click. Wake up at 9 and go, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah.
No, I love working with Victoria, and I'm really glad. When she writes, she has people in mind. She has spirits in mind. She has energy in mind. And when you get to be in the position that she's in, she also uses that opportunity to work with people she likes to work with, who she knows is going to come and deliver. They're going to get in the trenches, they're going to show up, and they're going to add other dimensions to what she has put on the paper. So whenever she calls me to do anything, I already know that when I receive the call, that that's how she regards me. So when it also gave me the opportunity to tap into, my family's from South America, so I have the Caribbean roots, et cetera, to utilize that portion of my skill set with the accent, et cetera. I was like, this sounds like great fun. Then I had to ask, am I the good sister or the bad sister?
And
she said, no, you're the good one. You're the good one, but you have big sharp teeth.
Now, is the good? Is your family from Guyana?
My family's from Guyana, South America. Yes.
Okay, and do you have to deploy the accent in this?
In this, yeah, I absolutely do.
So can we hear some of the Guyanese? Because the Guyanese is very. I always thought, because I know a lot of people from Guyana, I thought it was in the Caribbean islands. I thought it was a Caribbean island, but it's not, right? So I had to, we don't know geography. We just know that.
But it's part of the diaspora, though. It is part of the Caribbean diaspora. It's part of it.
Myself, my siblings, and my first cousins, we were all born in the States. My mother is the oldest of 10. 8 are survivors. And when she married my dad, who was in the US Army, she sponsored her siblings and parents to come to the States. So all my cousins. So we're all born here. I'm born in Brooklyn, New York. This is the way I sound. My cousins sound the same way until all of us get together. And all of a sudden, all of us start talking like this and imitating auntie and uncle and granny and them and thing. So that all of a sudden we all come from this place. When my friends used to call my house as a child, my mother would answer the phone. Hold on, hold the wire. Didi? And they would say, wait, did I get the wrong number? I said, no, that's my house. That's my mom. That's my mom. So no, I love it. I love it. And you can hear the differences. An authentic Jamaican, Guyanese, that is very lilting.
Sing-songy.
Sing-songy. And the Jamaican is a little, more grounded, a little bit deeper, and got a bit of a harder edge to it. I didn't even try to do that because I didn't want to embarrass myself or anybody who's Jamaican to say, she needs to stop.
But she's been complimented. Dawnn has been complimented by Jamaican people who are like, okay.
On the set. Yes.
Yeah, and they'll be a hard critic.
What province are you from? What province? I said, I'm not, bro. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the province of Bed-Stuy. That's where I'm
from. Up, Victoria? What you know about it from Portland, Maine? What you know about the Caribbean and the South? What you know about this?
One of my foster guardians is Jamaican, Barbara Sterling, who lives in Massachusetts. Her daughter and I studied ballet together. We were on scholarship. And so I was brought into the fold of the Jamaican household when I was, before I was a teen. And I've been going to Jamaica since the late 70s. And in my search, people say, what, are you Jamaican? You're always going to Jamaica. But as it turns out, as I was looking for a family member through Ancestry.com, one of the people that took the test lives in Jamaica. He is a third cousin. And so the root is there. And that's why the storytelling for me, I always try to find the universal theme in it, because we do have family. The reality is, due to the slave trade, primarily, we have family everywhere. So if we took a test in St. Kitts, if we took a test in Guyana, in South America, in the UK, we are going to find a family member, most likely outside of the United States, which is incredible, miraculous, sad, but it speaks to Blackjack Christmas in terms of the diaspora and the interest in this movie, because we are everywhere. So yeah, I've got a Jamaican root. We don't know who. I don't know if we're going to go digging further. I found the family member that we were looking for. So there is a Jamaican root.
We're all rooted. I mean, and I think that's the overall message that I know I'm promoting on this show. We're one. We're not this separate group, over here, over there. We're one. And when we recognize the oneness of us, oh my goodness, it's about to go down. I can't wait.
And I think that's part of the pain of this movie, is that one sister or both sisters feel like you've forgotten who you are. Don't forget who you are. And unfortunately, because of the tragedy that was enforced on us as a people, as a race, as a culture, to divide us, to break up our languages, to break up our access to each other and our history, we've created, unfortunately, our own set of strata of how we deal with each other. Colorism, ageism. Are you genuine? Are you authentic? Are you a transplant? Are you a half-breed? Are you a, all of that? We do that to ourselves now. And that is touched upon in this movie as well. The layers are just beautiful. And there's something there for everyone. People who are dealing with sibling issues, colorism issues, ageism issues, transplant issues, financial issues, class issues, even religious issues. We were all raised in the same house. How come I'm so fabulous and you are just a heathen? I don't understand.
We really dig deep, and people were on their feet in the Hollywood premiere. We did at the end of October. We had a standing ovation. People were laughing. People were crying. We did a premiere in Kingston, Jamaica on November 1st. Then we were asked to open the Skylark Film Festival in Negril next to Idris Elba's movie, Yardi. They only selected 2 features and the rest for shorts. And we were so proud to be a part of the Skylark Film Festival, but it shows the testament of the power of this movie. And we hope that more is requested of us. We hope for a sequel.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to ask about. It seems as though we are at least 5, if not 7 to 10 years into a remarkable boom in Black content, global Black content, but particularly a new era of opportunities for creators and creatives in your space in African America. And what is it like now, as juxtaposed to when you all started, when there were 3 networks and 2 roles for Black girls between the shows that had any Black people at all? And how good does it feel to be in this remarkable moment where there's an Issa Rae and a Lena Waithe and a Victoria Rowell and a Dawnn Lewis, and so much more opportunity for all of us while you all are at the height of your powers as true OGs?
Well, I look at Quinta Brunson. I look at Casey Lemons, there's a whole cadre of women that are really making things happen. And how it feels to me is how it should have been. But I see and have experienced the possibility. It's not where it still needs to be. We need 3-picture deals. We need big budgets as well. And if you're making $20 million movies and giving African Americans or Black people 2 million or 200,000, where, let's look at the chasm of disparity here. So, Black person shouldn't be made to make 6 movies from $2 million. I mean, I'm just saying. So
I'm gonna blame Tyler Perry for that, because he's been able to pull it off a lot.
So I'm saying that I see growth, but we have to keep our foot on the pedal and talk about the financial aspects of this, and that we deserve the parity in budgets, so that we can remain competitive, to be successful. And this is not just in the domestic market. We have to continue to smash the myth that our content is not transportable to and licensable, that's a word, but can be licensed throughout the world, as it can be, not just to Africa, but we're everywhere. We're in the UK. We're all over the world. We're in Australia. People, and regardless of who you are, everyone wants to look at the story. Our movie, Blackjack Christmas, relates outside of Christmas to all people. So I see the change. We still have to keep the pedal to the metal. Dawnn, punting to you.
Oh, well, what she said, plus the fact that it's interesting. We went through a period in the 70s and 80s with the Black exploitation, where we were making our own way. And then once the other powers that truly be saw that there's money in it, then all of a sudden they started taking over and started blocking the people of color who wanted to make their own stories. And their response was, no, we'll do it because we know how to tell your story. And that became the challenge. Where we are now with the advent of the various platforms, you still find yourself dealing with that on a certain level. There are some people who have broken through, who continue to break through. And now that they are through the money, where the dollars are, to Victoria's point, it's easier for them to get funding. But you would be surprised at how many people you would think should not have an issue still have an issue. Getting people to take them seriously, getting people to invest, getting people to open up casting. They want to tell you how to tell your story. And it's like, well, if you would just let us do it, you would see how it makes you money. And there are certain platforms that have recognized that, like the Marvel platform recognizes with movies, like Black Panther and different kinds of characters. Like, wait, hello, this is making us the most money that we've made ever. We need to keep doing this and hiring these people to do it. Then you have someone like a Viola Davis, who has legacy credits to her name, tells you in an interview that it took her almost 10 years to get the Woman King made. She couldn't get the money, she couldn't get the support, she couldn't pull the team together, and it just doesn't make any sense. And you get the common response, well, you're an actor, right? What do you know about directing and producing and all those kinds of things? And they really want to sell you short. Whereas if you were looking at your counterparts of other races in the same position that you are in, they get opportunity after opportunity to make like Zodiac hot tub.
Yeah, right.
Like, what? And
Right,
you see
right.
that stuff on TV. It's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
But then you find that a number of the projects that we see featuring people of color, directed by people of color, were actually done overseas. They weren't done here. They don't give us that credit. But
sometimes
shot somewhere else, and then it's imported here and say, here, you wanted something, here it is.
Dawnn Lewis, sometimes we take it like Ava DuVernay, and then turn around and make sure that every single episode is directed by a Black woman. So now the whole industry is changed. One person did that. One person made a conscious decision. And this is, you brought up Quinta Brunson, Victoria, and it's like, okay, one person can come up with something that breaks free, and she's very, very conscious of what her position is. She's not enamored by Hollywood because she wasn't made by Hollywood. She was made by us. So that there's a different onus. And once we know our power, we can't be stopped. And right now I feel like we're in one of those can't be stopped places where they can't dangle a check in front of us.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Byron Allen. And Byron Allen, who went in, he went inside of that courtroom and he said, no, there are no Black media companies in the way that he was trying to do in exchange. And he won that battle. And this is the kind of power we have to talk about going to the FCC, and that it can't be less than 1% Black owned media.
It can't.
Oprah can't be all, Shonda Rhimes can't be all, and neither can Byron Allen's company. So we really have to get to the root of where the power really is. Why did Byron Allen have to go to court and fight such a battle and then win? You have to really look at that story. It is a David and Goliath story, and kudos to Byron. So
it's not like it's new. More than 20 years ago, I partnered with a company out of New York when they knew that I was developing and selling content. I sold this TV series to ABC a number of years ago. They took it, bought it, made it, spent a lot of money, and then shelved it. And then 2 years later, they wouldn't sell it back to me, but 2 years later, they released Alias, the white version of my show. Yeah, anyway, so that became a whole other thing. That became a whole other thing. So we presented, myself and my partner, saw the advent of the internet and the way it was blowing up and streaming. So we sent this amazing proposal. I was hired as a director of development to create programs, to find and license programs, and we made our pitch to a number of places to get our own broadband channel. And the responses that we got was, no, this is not happening. It's broadcast TV. We need brick and mortar businesses. This will never work. This will never work. This will never work. Less than 10 years later, platforms, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all of these things show up, and now that is the norm, where we look at each other and just scratch our heads. It's like when some little Black children brought this idea to you, all you could do was poo-poo it. We did have a bid in for a channel back then, and they used our bid to leverage another bid and sold it to someone else. You know, the phone went quiet for like a couple of months. Like, what happened? We were in the middle of negotiations. What happened?
But now we're here. We have less than 10 seconds.
Okay.
And now we're here. Blackjack Christmas,
Blackjack
BET
Christmas.
Plus, Blackjack Christmas, BET Plus. Hit it, watch it, hit it, watch it. Let's go. Let's get the numbers up. Victoria Rowell, Dawnn Lewis, love you. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We hope you
Bye.
enjoy the movie. Have a blessed holiday.
At Victoria Rowell, IG, Twitter.
At Dawnn_Lewis.